2006 Lexus IS250. I haven't seen any videos on this, so I'm going to attempt to remove the tensioner, the primary timing chain tensioner. But I'll do that off camera and I'll get right back to you. Alright, so that was a success. So I was able to remove it while in the car. You could see the guide has, now it's all the way down. I took the tensioner off. Here's the tensioner, and you just want to be careful not to drop the bolts here. Here's one of the bolts. Just make sure not to drop it in there. What I did was I stuffed in that blue towel. I stuffed it in there, just that way I ensure that the bolts don't fall in there. It's also a good idea to have a magnet in handy just to make sure that this don't fall, but just make sure you have a good grip on it when you're removing it. Here's the new part, so just make sure they line up perfectly before installation. So I'm going to go ahead and install this one. Should be pretty straightforward. You just got to push that rocker back, this guide, and then I'll slip that in, and then once they're on snug, I'll go ahead and pull that pin to provide that tension. Okay, so installing wasn't too bad. It's a little bit tricky, but all I did was I just push this and put it in place, but just make sure that this red pin is nicely placed, that way it doesn't pop off. Once I put it in place, I went ahead and put this, I put this paper, I shoved it in here on this bottom, and then I put this bolt in first. Once I put that snug, and then all I did was I swung this upward until you feel where it starts threading in there. So it wasn't too bad, it's pretty easy. But the torque specs for this, it calls for 10 foot-pounds of torque, or that's equivalent to 89 inch-pounds. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and torque it. It would be a good idea to put lock thread, that lock thread in there, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it like this. It should be fine, and then afterwards, then I'll go ahead and pull the pin. So you want to push down when pulling this. You want to push downward on this metal piece, and then pull, and it should come out freely. There we go. I was trying to pull it, but it wasn't coming out. So yeah, this right here, you want to push down and pull, and then it comes right out. So now it's fully extended. There we have it. And also, so I didn't see any videos on people doing this on the Lexus IS250s. So I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to do it, so I wasn't planning on recording. But I didn't record me removing everything, but I'll record everything, putting back everything on. That way you can get an idea on how to do this. Here's this cover, and I guess it would be a good idea to either change this gasket out, but I think it should be fine if I reuse it. Here are the bolts, and not sure exactly the specs, but I'm gonna also go with the 10 foot-pounds, which is equivalent to the 89 inch-pounds. So I'll go ahead and do that. Next up is installing this driver injector. So you can see it has 3 bolts. So this bolt goes, one bolt goes here, the other one there, and this screw goes down here. So So you could see where it goes. That's one, and then there's the other one, kind of blurry, and one down there. Down there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and plug all of this harness, and then I'm gonna connect the ground, and I'm gonna start it up just to see if everything is working correctly. And to remove these plugs, all you gotta do is just push. They're plugged in like this. You just push down here and pop it out. It's pretty simple. So I'll go ahead and do that. Plug has a different size, so you don't have to worry about mix and matching. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I connected the battery terminal, so I'm gonna go ahead and start it up to see if it's running right and to see if there's a difference. I wasn't sure if the timing chain or the timing tensioner was a problem, or if I have a little exhaust leak, because I am hearing a rattling. So I'm not sure if it was that or if I have an exhaust leak, but I'm gonna go ahead and start it up. I'll give it some time since I did disconnect the battery. So I think I am still hearing the rattling. But just keep in mind that was just the primary tensioner. There are two other tensioners, but those you do have to remove the covers. There's one on each side. But let's see, I'm gonna rev it up. Yeah, so the sound kind of sounds like it's coming from the back of the engine, so I'm not sure if I have an exhaust leak, but at least now I know it's not the tensioner, or at least not that tensioner. I don't know if it's the others, but yeah, at least now I know how to change that. So I'll continue with this. So I'm gonna now put this cover on. So let's see, all it is I put this cover on, and right here on this one and this one there's these screws, so I'm gonna go ahead and put those in. Now this is the last screw right here. This goes right in here, and right here has this Phillips to detach from here, but I couldn't get this off, so it ended up breaking, but it is still holding in place, so that's all it is to it. One last thing I forgot to mention, it's also holding on to this right here, so I just pulled on it, and then this zip tie, it popped off, so I was able to take it off. And then so I put this on right now, and I put the zip back on. So it's on there. So yeah, that's all there is to it. So yes, I did decide to do this because I did not see any for the Lexus IS250s. So you can remove the primary tensioner without removing the covers. Pretty easy. All the bolts that I took off were with the 10mm socket, and I did have to use this deep socket for these that were right here. Probably takes maybe about an hour and a half, maybe less, but not bad. Thing to install is this intake. You guys should know how to do that, pretty sure. Just slide that in there, bam, and then screw that on right here. Should be good to go.